welcome. My name is Jocelyn and today we are going to do a bit of a makeup declutter. I was evacuated from my house recently because of the Southern Oregon wildfires, and I packed up a bunch of my makeup, and all of that stuff is still currently in bags, and the rest of my stuff, the stuff that I left behind because I didn't have room for it and just had to grab what I thought in that moment was the most important stuff, that stuff is still in my makeup drawers. So I thought that I would just kind of quickly go through all of those things and really just think to myself, what do I actually want to hold on to and keep, and what could I maybe pass along? Because there are definitely some things that I think could have a better home elsewhere. There's definitely a lot of things in here that I still really like using, but just in that moment of panic was not deemed absolutely essential. I mean, makeup is not in any way, shape, or form really absolutely essential, but I had a little bit of time, and with that extra time, after I had all my very important stuff packed and ready to go, I did come in here and pack a rather large tote of makeup. So everything else that's left behind, I'm gonna quickly go through, and I already have it in my head, some of the items that I wish to pass along. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we're starting in this first drawer. As I mentioned before, this is not all of my makeup. This is probably about half. Everything you're about to see is probably about half of my makeup collection. If you want to see my entire makeup collection or what's left over after I go through this declutter, I am planning on doing a makeup inventory here coming up real fast. So again, if you would like to see my full makeup collection, look out for that. Okay, so in this drawer, we have powders, concealers, sprays, primers, and foundations. I'm not going to get rid of any of my powders. I actually like all of these. I ended up only taking one powder with me when I left. Some of these are half used, well, actually all three of these are about half used. So I ended up only taking one with me last time. But I do like all three of these. And powder is something I usually don't repurchase until I've run out of one. So these are fine. I did get this Too Faced concealer from a BoxyCharm a little while ago, and I have not tried it. I think it's a little dark for me, but again, I haven't really tried it yet, so I'm gonna hold on to that. I do have 3 concealers in here. I think I am gonna get rid of 2 of these. The one I'm not gonna get rid of is this Pretty Vulgar concealer. I do really like this. I don't think that it's everybody's favorite. It is kind of medium coverage, so I am gonna hold on to this. But these two, the Smashbox Studio Skin Flawless 24-Hour Concealer in the shade Fair Light Warm Peach, and the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. This is in the shade Fair 10N. I am not a big fan of either of these. I did a while back make the decision to try and use them. They're not my favorite. I have a handful of concealers that I really, really like. These are not them. And I also really want to try the Rare Beauty foundation and concealer, so I'm okay getting rid of these 2. And I think after I get rid of these 2, I'll still have, well, I guess including this Too Faced one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 concealers. So I don't like these. All those other ones I like. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass along these to somebody else who might like them more. Okay, I only have this one primer, and then I have one other primer, and both of these work pretty okay. I am gonna get rid of this spray. It is, you know, pretty close to being used up. I only was using it because it was the only one that I had, but I did recently, within the last few months, get this Ciate London one. This is the Everyday Vacay spray, and I really like this. I don't like the spray nozzle itself and the way that this sprays. I don't really like the smell, and I don't really like the finish and the way that it works. So I did almost use this up anyways, but I am just gonna go ahead and get rid of the rest of this. Moving on to the foundations that I have left in here. This one I've actually used up, so I'm not totally sure why I put it back in here. You can kind of see that it's basically used up. I did have to get a spatula in here, so this is getting just kind of thrown away. Oh, the Fenty foundation was actually in the bags that I packed, but I did pull it out to use, so that is staying. So is this. This is actually new. Nobody's seen this on my channel yet. I did pick this up a month ago-ish. This is the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation, lightweight and smoothing. I'm still getting used to this. Right now, it's not my favorite, but again, this is the most recent foundation I've picked up, and I'm still kind of getting the hang of it. My skin's been acting up recently, so I don't think that it's fair to totally judge it yet. So I'm gonna hold on to this, but if it continues to act the way that it's been acting, I am going to end up passing this along. But for now, that's gonna stay. This last foundation is one that I always wanted to use up, but it's come to the point where I got this 3 years ago, so it is definitely expired. This has a shelf life of 12 months. So it is very well over its expiration date. Also, I got this right after my wedding, and at my wedding I had been tanning, and this is always going to be darker than I am because I'm never probably going to be as dark as I was when I got married. So this is expired, and I'm never gonna get to use it. I always thought that, you know, at the end of summer after I've been tanning and outside a bunch, then maybe I'll get to use it, and that just was never the case. So it is finally time to get rid of this. All right. This is everything we have left in this drawer. All right, moving down to my blushes, highlights, and face palettes. There aren't any bronzers in here because I only have, I think, 2 bronzers, and I took both of those with me. I don't know that I'm gonna get rid of too much in this drawer. I haven't purchased a face palette in years, so there's not really much to declutter here because all of these face palettes I've held on to for a reason for many years, and I really love them, each for a different reason, and so I am gonna hold on to all of these. Obviously, I didn't deem them good enough to take with me, which is kind of crazy in hindsight, but I do really like these. And again, I've not purchased a face palette in so many years. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to these. I think the last one I purchased either was this Hourglass palette or this blush palette by Tarte back here. I can't really remember which one, but that was a couple, if not more than a couple of years ago. Okay, moving on to blushes. I am gonna get rid of some of these. The first of which kind of makes me sad. It is this Ciate London blush. This is in the shade In Too Deep. This, I think, is expired. I don't know if you'll really be able to see it, but it's got in there almost little growths, little round balls that look like possibly fungus. Is that the right word? I don't know, but it makes me really uncomfortable to put on my face. Does this have an expiration? No, it doesn't, but I'm sure I've had this for a few years. Usually powder products don't give me an issue, but those little growths make me pretty uncomfortable, and I don't want to irritate my skin, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. Next is one of these Hourglass blushes, not this one. This one. This I picked up from the BoxyCharm shop a few months ago, and it just doesn't look good on my skin. I think I tried to use it a couple of times, and it's just not my favorite. I love Hourglass, and I already had a blush. I had this one right here. This is in the shade Mood Exposure, and I love this one. This is what this one looks like on the inside. Oh geez, I almost keep dropping these. I love this one, so I'm gonna hold on to this one, but this just didn't work for me the way that I wanted it to, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass this along. Oh, this is the other one. I think I got this from a BoxyCharm too this year. I don't think I used it once. I just have other blushes that I really like, and there's nothing about this that really calls to me, and so I'm gonna go ahead and pass it along just to somebody else, just because, again, I don't feel like I need it. I have a lot of blushes in these blush palettes and in singles that I love. I just don't have a want to hold on to this, so this is gonna go. Let's see, what else? What do we got over in my highlight section? I don't know. The only one that I might pass along, well, I think that I might pass along this little baby highlight. I have used it a decent amount and I like it, but it does offer a more natural highlight to the skin, which I like, but I have a lot of other highlights that I like the finish of more, and it's the same kind of natural, subtle highlight. So I think that I might try and pass this along to somebody who would appreciate this and use it more than I have been and will continue to use. And then these ones over here, I think I'm gonna hold on to. I like all of these. This one actually by Kaleidos, I think was one of the last things I purchased from them before I realized that they have not a very clear cruelty-free status, so I'm holding off purchasing anything else from them, which makes me really sad because they just launched a new collection that I think is really beautiful. So if you guys have any they are or they aren't cruelty-free information, leave it down in the comments below. But what I've seen so far is very unclear, which makes me not very comfortable purchasing from them, so I'm not going to until I have some kind of confirmation. But I did pick this up. I don't know if I shared that on my channel at all. It's one of their highlighters and it has this really pretty icy blue shift to it. So all of these are staying. All right, moving down into my palette drawer. Well here, let me show you real fast what I packed. These are all of the palettes that I packed. It's kind of hard to see in this case, but a lot. There's definitely a lot of palettes in here. I probably left behind about half. There's a lot of palettes in here that I really love. And then a handful that I just don't feel as strongly about and could probably find different homes. So I think I'm just gonna pull all of them out because I want to rearrange this drawer anyways. And also, now that I think about it, I might as well leave them out for the palette inventory. So okay, I don't even know. Well, let's start back here, I guess. This I wanted to bring with me, the Jocelyn Hill and Morphe palette, because this isn't a palette that I can repurchase because I don't purchase from Morphe anymore. And I love this palette so much, but it didn't fit and I ended up leaving it behind. But I love this, so I am gonna keep that. I've thought about decluttering the Saharan 2 palette by Juvia's, but every time I open it, I feel a certain way and I love the colors in here. I just always kind of forget to reach for it because there's not really a cohesive look you can make with all of these shades. I would always have to reach into a different palette, so I am gonna keep this though because it elicits feelings within me. Ooh, okay. My first palette that I am going to declutter, which makes me sad because this was gifted to me by Crystal, and I'm going to be passing it along for I think the same reason that she passed it along, and that is just because this is beautiful and this is everything that I would think that I would want. I have a lot of palettes very similar to this that I love so much more than this one, and I don't love the formula. I love the color shades and selection. I don't ever want to reach for this. And I just feel like it's not very well used. Like there's some shades in here that are used more than others, some barely at all. I just feel like this could have a better home with somebody else. I was really grateful to have been able to use this and experience Violet Voss shadows. They're just, I have discovered, not my favorite. Okay, another one that we are getting rid of. This is a BoxyCharm. I think I got this, yeah, I got this in a BoxyCharm. Gosh, this is huge. This is the Iconic London, what is this palette? The Day to Slay eyeshadow palette that was out of frame. There it is right there. This is another one. It looks beautiful. I've tried it out. It's okay. I don't really love the packaging. I think this is just real chunky and bulky. I have these shades in other palettes and other formulas that I like a lot more. And because this is hardly used, I think that this could find a much better home because just like the Violet Voss palette, this isn't bad. This isn't like a bad formula. I just have other formulas that I much prefer over this one, so this can find a better home. Moving over here, I do have the Cafe palette by Zoeva. This I like, haven't used too much, was very excited to receive it. I think this is going to be really good for this fall. Very pretty. Holding on to this. Next we have the Lunar Beauty palette. I'm going to be holding on to this. I really like Manny. I know some people have some weird feelings about him. I personally really like him. I like having this palette. I'm going to hold on to it. I'm going to try and blow through these a little bit faster. Let's move up to the front here. Dream Street by ColourPop. I love the packaging on this. I like the shades. I could see myself maybe one day getting rid of this, but it's a disaster on the inside, very messy. I like this a lot, keeping this. Also the Tartelette in Bloom. I'm kind of surprised I didn't grab for this when I was packing everything because I do really love this. I'm not working in an office anymore, so this isn't as usable for me because I don't need neutral looks as much anymore, but I really like this, and this is fairly new, so I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to that. Ooh, next, the Ace Beauté palette. I almost want to hold on to this because Samantha Ravndal raved about it in one of her recent videos, but I just know in my heart of hearts this could have a different home, a better home. Same thing as with the other ones. I don't want it. I don't want to keep it. It's freaking, the packaging on the outside though is stunning. I remember when I first saw this, I was just enamored with the packaging. Next we have the Zodiac palette by ColourPop and Kathleen Lights. Stunning packaging. Really fun, unique shades on the inside. Gonna hold on to that. Here's another one. This is another one by BoxyCharm. Almost all the palettes that I received from BoxyCharm are going to different homes, which is one of the reasons why I canceled my BoxyCharm subscription. There's nothing I don't think wrong with the formula, even though I didn't really use much of it. I just, for some reason, This color scheme is not doing it for me. I don't wear a lot of dark shades like these, which is the majority in here, and I just feel like there's gonna be a way better home. Same thing, I'm just repeating myself. Okay, that's going away. Ooh, both my Too Faced palettes. We have the chocolate bar and the sweet peach. I really like both of these. I think I bought myself the sweet peach, and then I think Alex maybe bought me the chocolate bar. Like both of these, they're staying. Same with the next 3 Anastasia palettes. I think I only ended up taking with me one, but I left these behind, which is crazy. I might end up decluttering this one within the next year because it's getting a little bit old, but I would like to do some damage on it this fall because it's very fall-esque to me, especially this half of the palette over here. So I am going to hold on to this at least through this declutter, but I think that next declutter it is going to go because it is getting a little old. And then I have the Master Palette by Mario that I'm going to hold on to, and the Norvina palette that I'm going to hold on to. Okay. Oh, we're getting close. All right. Oh, I left behind the original Naked palette. This is saying, oh, this is one by BoxyCharm that I am going to hold on to. This is the Shared Planet Polar Bear collection. I actually really like the colors in here. They're very unique. A lot of them are very shimmery. It's a really neat formula, and I think this is going to be really fun to use this Christmas season, winter season, because it's cool toned, and I don't have a ton of cool toned palettes in my collection. So I am going to hold on to this. This is also newer, and look at that packaging, the holograph. I love that. Okay, that's staying. So 2 of the next 3 palettes are going to be decluttered. The first one is one that my friend actually gave to me. She got this from BoxyCharm, but one of the shades came shattered. I tried this out, and I have a lot of other warm tone palettes that I just simply like a lot more. This one, ooh, this ColourPop Disney palette I am keeping. I love the packaging. I love the design. Oh, I've raved about that for a long time. Shades themselves, formula is a bit lackluster, even though it looks like I love it because there's quite a bit of dip in here. These 2 shades, well actually these 3 shades right here I really like. That shade I really like, and there's a handful of others. There's a lot of misses in this palette, but the packaging is stunning. I'm going to keep it. This one, oh boy, I have contemplated getting rid of this so many different times. Every time I open it up and really study the shades, it makes me want to keep it, but I never want to reach for it. It's got some really beautiful formulas and shades in here, like these shimmers down here, this shimmer up here. There's a couple of misses, like this chunky glitter shade right here. I can't look at it too much because I will change my mind. My best friend recently made a comment that this was a palette she was really interested in, so it kind of solidified in my mind that I can get rid of this. I'm gonna pass it along to her and see if she wants to give it a try. Most of this, if not all of it, is still in pretty good condition, and I think that she could enjoy using it. Like, again, the more I look at it, the more I want to keep it, but I've already made my decision. I'm gonna pass it along to my best friend, and I think she could have a lot of fun with this. We're almost done. Okay, up here, up front, we have the Manny and Makeup Geek palette. I am going to hold on to this. All of the shades in this top 2 rows I really like. At some point, I'd like to like really get some good solid use out of this. It is getting a little old, but I'm pretty positive that those shades are still kicking it strong, so those are gonna stay. This one, I feel really bad. My mom bought this for me last fall, I think, from Ulta, and I was really excited about it because that was like, I think, the first ColourPop palette I had ever bought. Well, I didn't buy it, she bought it, but that I got from Ulta, and it's got this really beautiful fall color story in it, but for some reason I just don't like using it, and I don't know why. Most other ColourPop palettes I have a lot of success with. This one just didn't quite do it for me, so I think I am going to reach out to some people and see if they would like it. This is one that is still in really good condition, and I liked it. Like, I didn't not like it. I just feel like I have a lot of other palettes that I like a lot more in a very similar color story, and this could go to a better home. So Mom, if you're watching this, thank you so much for buying this for me. I loved getting to use it and trying it out, but it's not my favorite, and it's gonna go to somebody who could really use it. Moving on to my little tray right here. This first one is an Ofra palette. It's one of the probably the last things that I got from Octoly 2 years ago maybe. It's just a bunch of shimmers, and I really like it. It's super simple. I don't know what to say. I like it. I'm gonna keep it. Oh, we have 3 of the little mini elf palettes. I'm only gonna keep one. I'm gonna keep this one right here. This is the Berry Bad palette. I like all the shades in here. These two, I don't like either of the two darkest shades in here. This one doesn't show up at all on me. The shimmers are okay in here. This one I liked okay. That one, the matte shade was nice. The shimmers were nice, but I just don't really want to hold on to them. So I am going to get rid of these two. And then finally, we have the Huda Beauty Amethyst Obsessions palette. I got this for Christmas last year from my old roommate and his girlfriend and my friend. I like this. Honestly, not sure why I didn't bring it with me, but I am gonna hold on to this. Wow, actually this was such a successful declutter. I'll show you all the palettes and everything that I'm getting rid of at the end. We are almost done. Just lip products. All right, moving on to my first lip drawer. Yes, I am using a Dirty Beauty blender to prop it up. I don't buy a whole lot of lip products nowadays because I'm trying to use the ones that I have. I probably buy maybe like 2 or 3 a year. So most of my collection's pretty narrowed down, but there are a handful in here that I'm going to get rid of. The first two are from BoxyCharm this last year. The first of which is this Manna Beauty Simplified. I think this is a liquid lipstick of sorts. I did open it. I don't think I ever used it. I saw Christina Chang talk about it and how dry and just horrible it was. That's just like not my jam at all, so I'm not gonna keep that. I also recently got this Clarins Velvet Lip Perfector. Did not like this shade. It was a really funky formula also. Kind of drying, not my favorite. Gonna pass that along. I think I'm gonna keep everything else except this lip gloss. This is by Colourpop, of course. This is in the shade Finders Keepers. This is just very, very, very old. The text on the side of the packaging has completely worn off. This is years and years old. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. I am gonna hold on to the other, well actually this is a lip gloss, and then this is an ultra blotted lip in the shade Soda Pop. This one right here. It's out of focus, cool. I like this a lot. And then I have one Fenty Beauty liquid lipstick. So we're only getting rid of 2, but that's it. Oh no, 3, we're getting rid of 3, and that's fine. I don't think I wanna get rid of anything else. You know what? I am actually going to get rid of this. This is an Urban Decay lipstick. This is years old. This is in the shade Crisis. Yeah, Crisis. It's just not my favorite formula. I really, really love the Colourpop Luxe lipstick formula, and I just don't love this one. This is a beautiful color. This is old, so I think I'm just going to like toss it. And I did use a fair amount of it. I mean, not a ton, but like a fair amount. I used this quite a few times. It was a favorite before I really discovered how much I loved the Colourpop Luxe lipsticks and a couple other lipstick formulas. So this is gonna go. Okay, I think that is it. Okay, moving on to this drawer. Let's see. So the first thing I'm going to get rid of is this Colourpop Just a Tint. This, it doesn't look like anything on my lips. I mean, you can see the pink hue right there, but on my lips, it doesn't look like anything, and it doesn't really do anything for them. So I don't want to hold on to this. It is going to go. I'm also going to get rid of this. I can't believe it. This is a MAC lipstick in Russian Red. I have a bunch of reds in my Colourpop Luxe lipstick formula that I love so much, and I always reach for those over this one, and I don't buy from MAC anymore, so I'm gonna get rid of this. So I think this is the only MAC lipstick I own nowadays, which was a gift from my best friend. This is a really, really beautiful dark kind of brick red. I love this. It doesn't look that well used. I have used it a handful of times. Oh, it's so beautiful. And it's got the special packaging, and it's special to me because my best friend bought it for me, so we're gonna hold on to it. This is staying, this is staying, this is staying. I'm gonna get rid of these next 2 items actually. The Jouer liquid lipstick and the, what is this? Bal Harbour Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick by Ofra. Both of these are too drying. I don't like it. They're beautiful colors. I really love these colors, but I do think I have these colors in other formulas that I like a lot more. These are not them, so these are gonna go. I am gonna keep these 3 lipsticks by Colourpop. They're just little minis in shades that I love, and the formula that I really like, this is the Ultra Satin Lip. And then I'm also going to keep this Huda Beauty lipstick. This is in the shade Joyride. This isn't my favorite formula, but I don't hate it, and I didn't use it too much last year right after I got it, and it's a really cool color. It's this really nice grayish color. I like it a lot. Where's the sunlight? There it is. So I'm gonna hold on to this at least through this winter season to give it a little bit better, more of a thorough try. Okay, so we're getting rid of 5 out of this drawer, which is pretty impressive. I was not expecting to get rid of so many. So we are getting rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lip products. And for someone who doesn't buy lip products all that often, I feel pretty good about that. We're getting rid of 1 spray, 2 concealers, sort of only 1 foundation, but we're also decluttering that one, which happens to be empty. 3 blushes, a highlight. 9 palettes. Wow, I am quite impressed with myself. I feel pretty good about this. This is more than I was expecting to get rid of. All right, there you have it. Those are all the items that I'm going to be decluttering out of my collection. If you don't want to miss any future uploads from me, don't forget to subscribe. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And I think that's everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.